Hi, welcome to Kitty Witty Papercraft. My name is Amy, and in this video, I am sharing my 2019 Christmas junk journal collection. So I have 10 Christmas junk journals made with vintage little golden book or wonder book covers, and they will be available in my so I have 10 journals available tonight for sale. So tonight is Sunday, December 1st. And the way I'm doing my journal sale this year, I have 8 that will be in my Etsy shop. And that will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And 2 of the journals I am actually going to auction. So I've never done that before. I'm going to try that with 2 of these 10 journals. And that is going to be through my Instagram. So I am at Kitty Witty Papercraft on Instagram. So if you follow me there, you've probably already seen I've posted a couple of times about this. And later today or early this evening, I will have a post up specifically about how the auction will work. The 2 journals that will be featured and how the auction works. But I can tell you now that that will be at 9 o'clock. So the auction is going to start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Instagram account. And it will run until tomorrow, Monday, December 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know a lot of people travel for the holiday, so for the Thanksgiving holiday. So I wanted to run the auction long enough so it was available in case anyone was traveling today. So this video, I'm going to do a flip through of all 10 journals, and I'm going to start with the 2 auction journals first. But before I even do that, I'm going to share the kits. So the way I did these journals is they come with kits. So these are like 85 or more. I haven't actually done the final count, so it's at least 85 pieces of ephemera in every kit. And I have my collection, my 10 journals divided up into 2 collections. So 2 collections of 5. So the first 5 are like a traditional red and green and blue colorway. And the other 5 are like a pastel colorway, lots of pinks and aquas in that one. So what I'm going to do is share the kits that come with each first, and then we'll go do the flip throughs. So the kits for each journal are essentially the same. There are a few variances in some of the vintage items, obviously. Like, for example, this Betty Crocker recipe card will be different in each kit. But a lot of the pieces are the same in each kit. So I'm just going to show you one of the kits, but it's very representative of the kit that you will get with the journal. So let's see. This is the one for the traditional colorway, and this is the one for the pink colorway. So I'm going to show you the kit that goes with the traditional journals, and then I'll show you the kit that goes with the pink pastel journals, and then we'll do the flip throughs. Okay, so these will be wrapped up cute with like bows and things, but I just kind of pulled these out. I have not completely gotten everything ready for sale yet. I really just finished the journals this morning, and it's about 1 o'clock on Sunday. So I just want to share everything with you. So I have everything sort of divided up, and I'll just start with the first bag. So there is a variety of ephemera that you will get with this, with your journal. So it's all kinds of little things. This bag here is filled with vintage tags, and I want to be careful taking them out. The one tag is kind of wide. So this bag has tags and seals in it. Let me just get them all out. I really love putting all the ephemera in the journals because it just adds so much. I just love the way it looks inside the journals, but I did not have time to place all the ephemera inside every single journal. So yeah, I had started saying that. So all these journals are going to be with a kit. So they are trimmed out. You'll see like the page edges are trimmed. They all have a tassel on them, and they are filled with premium scrapbook papers and vintage book pages and ledger paper and ephemera. inside, but all like the decorative kind of pieces, those are going to be in this kit. So there'll be tags like these right here. So I think there's 6 tags in every kit. So there's the same number of ephemera in every kit. Just some of the pieces might vary, like the vintage seals will vary a little bit depending on what I had available. So there's seals, and these 3 right here are actually printed images of seals. So I just added them in this envelope, but I really, really love these images. So I included those. This is a whole sheet of seals, and that is seals and tags. I'm just going to sit everything to the side and pack that up later. And then this bag has vintage ephemera. So this is all vintage in here. So every journal will have a milk cap and this really awesome 25-cent price tag. And this fun little, this is a label for like a canning jar, is how it was described when I got it. This is a little tally, a mini flash card, and a coaster, a vintage playing card, this neat little pharmacy label that has great Christmas colors on it, a tag, price tag. Every journal has a jukebox label. So that was really fun with the little candy canes on the side. And these German scrap angels, and a Betty Crocker recipe card, a vintage label, and a scrap of vintage gift wrap. And every journal has, in the red and green colorway, have the exact same gift wrap in them. And there's a vintage index card, or a divider, index card divider. So that is the vintage ephemera. And then this is more vintage ephemera, but these are bigger pieces. These are really for like journaling on. And then there's a coin envelope also in here. So just some guest checks, and this paper is trimmed in red, which I thought was really neat. And I love this paper. There's tons of room on both sides, and it folds out, and it's got red stripes on it. And every kit will have a page of these stamps. You could washi this in and add this as like another page in your journal and just use this as a background. And then every journal has a page from this really neat book I have called a Christmas card list book. So I thought that was a really fun thing you could use to make lists on or something like that. And a vintage flashcard and a page from a hymnal. This video is going to be kind of long. All right, so this bag is printables. So I love using printables. They just add like great imagery to and color to pages. So I put quite a bit in here. So every journal is going to have all of the same images. So this is, again, for the traditional red and green journals, and you'll see some of the same ones in the pastel journal too. So there's a blank recipe card. I thought that would be fun to journal on. A library card, and I will, I believe I mentioned the sources for the printables on an Instagram post that I did a couple days ago. I know I am not going to have time today to add that to the description box. Because I still have a lot more to do to get ready for the sale tonight and to make sure everything's ready to ship tomorrow. All the journals, the 8 journals that are in my Etsy shop tonight, I want to make sure I can ship them tomorrow. So I have to go through all the kits and do a once-over on all the journals. So I am not going to put a lot of details in the description box. I will hope to go back in a couple of days and add that information. But if there's something that you see that you want to know, and I can just, because I will be answering questions today, I will be checking out the comment section. So feel free to ask questions. If you see something that you like and you want to know where I got it, just let me know. So I won't take the time to describe where I got each thing, because I got things from all different shops on Etsy for the most part. Some of this is in my private collection, just images that I've had saved on my computer for a long time. And I have things in all different sizes. So, you know, they'll just kind of either be like a little accent on a page, or you could use something as a tip-in or a journaling card. So I just want to show you all the different images, and I would have loved to have cut all of these out to make them die cuts for you, but again, that was just time, and I know that you could use them as they are, or you could feel free to cut them out a little bit further. So those are the printables, and then I've got some die cuts from Pretty Little Studio. So these will vary a bit in each journal. Some of them will be the same. I believe the house, the Santa, and the reindeer. This will be the same in all of the traditional kits. And then these three, or these two right here, will vary. So they'll be all from Pretty Little Studio. They're all little vintage, like children, and like little characters and things. Those will vary in each kit. And then there's also a Tim Holtz paper doll die cut in every kit, and that one will vary in each one too. So you get 6 of those. Grab there. All right. My hands are so sore from doing all the charms. Oh my goodness. I started them last night and I finished this morning, and that was a lot of charms to do at one time. So my hands are sore and not working great. And this last little pack is just more, can't get that out. So there's a flashcard. That's also a Tim Holtz flashcard with a Christmas sentiment. There's a little word phrase that will vary in each kit. That's a Tim Holtz also. So this is just kind of like some scrapbook or paper crafting ephemera to add to your pages. So a couple tags, tickets, these cute little Santa hats. They have a little bit of texture to them, and some bingo cards and a library card, some mini doilies, guest check, and this tag I like because it has the red writing on it. All right, so that is the kit that will go with all of the traditional colorway journals. And then this is the kit that will go with the pastel journals. So this is very similar, same number of pieces, but they vary in color, obviously. I chose ones that would go more with like pink and aqua. So they all have one of these angel tags. Those little angels will vary in color. And then some gift tags. Every journal has this one exact. And this sheet of seals, and then the little seals will vary. Oops. I told you my hands aren't working right today. These are neat little stamps. And then these are the little printed seals that I've included, and all 3 of those are the same in every kit. Okay, so that is the seals and tags. And this is the vintage ephemera. So some of the pieces are the same. The little sticker in the pastel kits is this one here. So a little bit of a different print, but a milk cap and the 25-cent price tag. And the jukebox label in these journals are green and pink. I think the songs might vary on some of them. But yeah, they're the green and pink ones. Love this little playing card. The pharmacy label, mini flash card, vintage label and coaster, and a tally, and this price tag. So there are little bits of red and green, traditional colors in the pastel books. You'll see when we go through them. And also in the traditional journals, there are a couple pages that have a little bit of pink on them. So there are a little bit of all the colors in all of the journals. And so I only had, I think, 5 or 6 of these. I didn't have 10 of this size German scrap angel. I love these. So that's why the other kits, the traditional kits, have the group of 4 little angels. And this one has just 1, but it's a bigger angel. And then this is the gift wrap, the vintage gift wrap that is in every kit in the pastel colorway, and a vintage Betty Crocker recipe card. So these are the smaller pieces of vintage ephemera. And then the bigger pieces of vintage ephemera are in this bag here. And this is very similar to what was in the other kit. The envelope and guest check. The message paper is different. And this one, the page with the stickers, the seals on it, the stamps, I should say, all have a pink background. So I was able to find enough of the ones with a pink background for each of the kits. And there's a flashcard and some more of that great journaling paper and the Christmas card list paper. And then there's one of these hymnal pages in every kit. And then the die cuts from Pretty Little Studio that go in the pastel kits. The same images that will be in all 5 of those journals are the Skater Girl and this Santa and this snowman. And then the 3 that will vary in each kit are these 3 right here. But they're all like little kids, like I said, snowmen, Santas, and then there's a Tim Holtz paper doll die cut. So 6 total die cuts in each kit. There's glitter on everything. And then these are the printables. So some of these are the same, but some are different. So there are some that are more with more pink in this kit. Sorry about my camera. So this sweet little deer, and again, they're in all different sizes. This one has these cute little gingerbread guys. I was kind of thinking of like sugar plums and, you know, that sort of thing when I was doing the pastel journals. So that's kind of where that came from. And again, you can cut these out and make them into die cuts or leave them as is. It's one of my favorite little Christmas images. And then there's a journaling card. This will vary in each kit. But this image and these 2 here, these are the same in actually all 10 journals. And these make nice tip-ins or journaling cards. You can journal on the back of them or on the front. And then, of course, the recipe card and this postcard image. And I printed this on really nice linen textured cardstock. So it has like the feel of a vintage postcard to it. So those are the printables. And then the paper crafting supplies for this journal just have more pastel pieces. So there's a couple mini doilies and the pink guest check and a library card, pink and green bingo cards, one of the word phrases and mini flash card, and these tickets, pink, white, and green, and just a few solid color tags, and then the little Santa hats. Those are fun to add to photos or die cuts, little like die cut people. And then the alterations tag. Okay, so those are the kits that go with the journals. Now we're going to do the flip throughs. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate between the traditional journals and the pastel journals, so it doesn't get boring, because the paper collections that I used for both colorways are very similar. You'll see a lot of repeat patterns. Of course, all the vintage pages are different, but you'll see a lot of the repeat in the scrapbook papers. So I thought I will go back and forth and alternate between the two. But first, let me show you the tassel. So All the tassels have pretty much the same charm collections. They all feature yarn bows and bells. So the traditional colorways have green, gold, and red bells on them. And the charms are just all different kinds of things. So there's like little cookie cutter charms. I love those. And little like candies. There's beads, gumdrops, little light bulbs, candies, lots of candies on all of them. And then each one has a little word tag, and there's a different word or phrase on every tag. So the Merry Christmas book has Merry and Bright for the tag. Okay. So this journal here is one of the journals that is going to be going in my auction. So the auction starts, like I said, at 9 o'clock tonight, and I'll have more details on my Instagram later today about that. So a lot of the scrapbook papers in the traditional books are from October Afternoon. It's a mix of Carta Bella and I'm not going to remember all the manufacturers off the top of my head, but there's a lot of October Afternoon in these. Their papers tend to be, not all of them, but many of them lend themselves really well to traditional colors. So I used a lot of those papers in the traditional journals. So all of the journals have a chenille pocket in both colorways. And the traditional ones have a frosty comic book page in them. That was something neat that I just kind of came across in an antique shop this year. So I added that to all the journals. And then there's cookbook, cookie recipe pages in all of them. And every journal has one of these really fun Santa's list that folds down. Love that paper. I love this shade of blue. This is a Carta Bella paper. Make sure I get it all in there. They all have this, well, you're going to see when you go through, but I will just kind of describe things in the first journal here, and in the other ones, I probably won't talk a whole lot and just do like a quick flip through. Otherwise, this video will be super, super long. I love this little package image of Christmas lights, so I made that into a pocket in all the traditional journals. And then every journal has pages from the cover. Whatever cover I use the pages inside the journal. And then this, you may have seen, I shared the toy catalog that I got this year from 1954. So every journal, all 10 journals have a page from that toy catalog in here. Really love that. And every journal also has a vintage 45 record sleeve in it, which makes a really great pocket. And some of them have really beautiful illustrations front and back. And I left this little flap, so obviously I had to bend it so it would fit inside the journal. But I love having these little flaps because it's another space where you can add pages. So you can attach to both sides and add new pages to your journal. Or you could tack it down like on the ends, and then this can be a pocket. So there's a little flexibility in how you do that there. And every journal has a little pin with a bell and some buttons attached to it. And they all have pom-pom trim and some printed doilies from Little Bindi, a shop on Etsy. This was just a fun little like program in this journal. So all the vintage pages, they vary. I used the same books in all of the journals. There's some vintage gift wrap. But obviously, because they're vintage, each page has different illustrations and whatnot on it. So that will vary. They all have a coloring book page in them and hymnals. They all have a tab, and I used my vintage label maker and the cursive wheel to make a tab that says Mary on it, and all the journals say Mary. And there's just different trims. Some of them are vintage, like that one. thought that was so pretty. This hymnal had really awesome illustrations, like black illustrations, line illustrations on them, and I turned them into a pocket in each journal. And if you have any questions about like which books, like I said, I shared that in one of my videos previously, but if there's a page that you see in one of the journals and you want to know what book I got it from, just leave me a comment and I will be answering comments. If I don't get to all of them today, over the next couple of days, I certainly will. I will answer any questions that you have about anything you see. This is velvet trim right here, and some vintage trim on the end. And I missed talking about a couple of the items, but I'll talk about them in another journal because they have the same things in all the journals. And this is a little tuck spot and vintage gift wrap on the back. So the Wonder Books, this is a Wonder Book. They have beautiful illustrations on the inside of their covers. So of course I didn't cover that, but on the back, they don't. So I just covered the backs of all of them with vintage gift wrap. And then there's rickrack trim, finishing them all out. So that one is one of the journals that will be in the auction tonight. And like I said, later today or this evening, I will have more information on how the auction works. Okay, so wow, this is going to get filled up with journals. I'm working on a little table here. Let's see. So the next one, oh, I forgot to show you the back of that one. So the spine and the backs of all the journals are covered in fabric. And this is the fabric on the back of the Merry Christmas book. So the next one I will share is Christmas Carols. And this is the other journal that will be in the auction tonight. Sorry, I keep bumping my camera. So the spine on this, on the Pastel collection is this candy cane fabric, and the back is this ornament fabric. And some of the rickrack is different on each book. This one has the green, so I thought that looked nice with the front cover. But you'll see some of that varies. So the tassel on the Pastel colorway, second. It's very chunky. Same as the other journals. They have bells on them, but these are silver, blue, and pink bells. And all the charms are similar as far as like the little chunky charms. The little fun novelty charms are the same, but the beads are different. So I have different colorways, you know, just like lots of pinks and aquas in the charms on these. So there's cookie cutter charms, like I said, little Christmas bulbs and Christmas ornaments and candies and snowflakes. And these all have aqua, white, and pink yarn. And the insides, so this is a little golden book. So all the little golden book journals are covered in the front and the back with vintage gift wrap. The back is exactly the same. So vintage gift wrap and rickrack, and then the inside spine is also fabric, just like on the back cover. And then there is a bulb pin with a silver bell and buttons, pink and white buttons on each of these journals. And like I said, I will share where I got all of the papers, what scrapbook paper collections they are from. Some is October Afternoon, but some are some other manufacturers. So I will share all of that as soon as I can. They all have a reader somewhere in them. I don't think I mentioned that before. And this napkin I turned into a pocket. The first side of the napkin and the back side of the napkin I left open at the bottom, but you can make it into a pocket if you want. So it's a little side entry pocket. Let's see, what can I say about these? So again, I took pretty much the same books, vintage books for all of the journals. I think this page here is a little bit different, from a different book than the traditional colorways, because this one had more pink in it. So you will see a lot of pink and aqua in this one, but a little bit of red and green too. It is Christmas after all, right? Lots of red and green. I love this paper. This is crepe paper, Fa La La. That's from a couple seasons ago. So all of the pastel journals have this greeting card image for a pocket. And this is a printed doily from Little Bindi on Etsy. I love the images from this particular book. And this is the vintage gift wrap that is a page in each of these journals. And this is from Make It, McCall's Make It book. There's a lot of great Christmas pages in there. And this is the toy catalog page for the pastel journal. There's the Mary tab. The pastel journals all have this satin ruffle edge on one of the pages and pom-pom trim. The chenille pockets. The chenille pockets in the pastel journals are all pink, and they're trimmed out with baby pom-pom trim, and the traditional colorway journals all have white chenille pockets. I love, love, love this page. It's one of my favorites. Both sides are beautiful. This is a pocket here from that hymnal. It's my favorite Christmas carols songbook. There's pages in all the journals from that carol book. This is the Santa's List page. Like I said, this is in every journal. So there are 130 approximately pages. This is some bumpy, like rickrack. It's thick, like chenille rickrack. 130 pages front and back. And that varies a little bit between some of them, depending on how I folded the pages. So it might vary by one or two. What was I going to say? So, yeah, 130 pages, and I don't know what I was going to say about that. So this is the second one that will be in the auction tonight. Christmas carols. The next journal is Jingle Bells. You might remember this was the journal I had to completely redo when I goofed up on the covering the inside spine. So this is a whole another cover. And this is the fabric on the back of this one. And this one got a different gift wrap on exactly the same. Yeah, so some of the journals in the traditional colorway have different vintage gift wrap because I didn't have enough of all of one gift wrap to do all 5 journals. So this one's a little bit different. And this one's got the little bells on the side. And I turned this card into a pocket. And I love the colors on this one. Isn't it beautiful? And it just matched these papers wonderfully. So that was a nice serendipitous moment. I think that's Dinah Shore. And actually I closed this one in, and this is a pocket on the back of this one. There wasn't anything special on the bottom of this record sleeve, and I thought this one looked nice, and it kind of highlighted the text over on the left. So I made that one into a pocket. This is the chenille pocket on this one. I really love this toy catalog. So neat. Just, you have to read like the little descriptions of the toys too. Just the way they wrote things, and it's just really, really neat. Definitely a step back in time. I love this paper. This is the back of an October afternoon paper. It just has lots of room on it, you know, to journal. It doesn't have to be obviously Christmas card list writing, but it's great for journaling on. So love that. Little tuck spot. And the Santa's list. This is a smaller, I think it's a Whitman Night Before Christmas book. The illustrations are so beautiful in that one. This gift wrap, my doily. This is the pocket. If you have questions about any of them after you see the video, they're probably all going to start blending together. As far as like what pages are in which ones. So just please ask me any questions that you might have. And I promise I will get back to you as soon as I can. So that is Jingle Bells. And next we'll have one of my favorite covers, The Night Before Christmas. So again, all the charms are essentially the same. And this one says Silent Night on the little word charm. I always like to scoot my tassel to the top when I'm opening my books, so you have plenty of, it won't get in your way, in other words, when you're trying to write or work in your journal. I love, love, love this paper. I don't know if it's picking up. It's really dark and rainy here today, so the lighting isn't great. But this paper is glittered. It's so pretty. And there's a little pocket in that napkin. I love, this is Favorite Songs and Stories, I believe is the name of that book. Really awesome illustrations in that. And that one's pretty easy to find. I actually have a couple copies of it because it's one of my favorites. So many things that I wanted to do and add to these journals. I had just so many ideas, but just not the time. So it is what it is. I love, love, love this record sleeve. Isn't that awesome? I love the colors and just his face. And then the back is just as awesome. So those were some really fun finds this year. Those record sleeves. So now that is something that is permanently on my list to find and add to journals are these 45 record sleeves. So this Santa's list, I scored it at the top, so you can, I'm not going to bend it too much. I don't want to like add any wear to it when it's brand new, but you can easily like fold this up and work underneath of it also. So I just kind of wanted to point that out. I mean, it's obvious, but just thought I'd mention it anyway. Pom-pom trim. There's some really fun ledger paper. I love this toy page because I love that crib. And the colors are so great. There's Mary. Oops. And each journal has, you know, a vintage greeting card or Christmas card in it. So they're all different. I thought that one was so pretty. And this one, I love this side of the page. It's really beautiful, and I thought it went really well in this book. And the back side is, it was a children's book, so this you may want to cover up. But that sometimes is what happens with book pages, is you don't always love the other side. But you can certainly cover that up. And these images are so sweet. This is from that McCall's Make It book. There were a lot of Christmas craft ideas in that book, so I had plenty of pages so I could add one to all 10 journals. And that's The Night Before Christmas. And next we'll do Waiting for Santa Claus. So again, these are the charms and bells on this one. And this one has holly fabric, holly and polka dot fabric, and the red Santas on the back and the green rickrack. I love this cover so much. Those kids are so sweet, aren't they? And the illustrations in this book are awesome also. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? So the back on this one, this is a Wonder book, so I covered the back of this one with vintage gift wrap. Love this paper too. Slowly making my way through the October afternoon stash. Very little left at this point. I'm actually not even sure if I'm going to make, I know I'm not going to make 10 Christmas journals next year. Absolutely not. Oh my gosh, this has been, I love doing this. Christmas journals are my favorite, but making 10 at the same time is just way too much. It's just so all-consuming for like the 2 weeks up until like the sale. So next year I may make a few. I don't want to say now what I'm going to do then. That's a long way off, but it definitely won't be 10. So yeah, so I might have enough paper next year left from October afternoon. So I'm only going to do a few next year, so we'll see. This is a really sweet record sleeve also. So many neat ones out there. This ledger paper is nice. It folds out, so there's lots of room for writing. This journal has lots of green in it, probably more green than, I think I have 2 journals that have a lot of green in them, and this is one of them. I think December is for Christmas. That title also has a lot of green in it. This is Velvet. I think I mentioned that before. And this is the Santa's list in this journal, and the toy catalog page, and the Frosty comic page, and the pocket. That is Waiting for Santa Claus. Okay, next up we have Frosty. I shared a little bit of him on my Instagram the other day. So there's Frosty's tassel and the candy cane fabric. So all of the pastel journals have the same fabrics on their spine and the back. I try to use a lot of snow images from the readers that are in here. So I love snow. You've probably heard me mention that before if you follow me on Instagram. I'm a winter baby and I absolutely love winter and snow. I do not like summer. So I am thrilled that it's now December, and I am hoping that we get lots of snow this year. We don't always get a lot of snow where I live, so it's always a special treat when we do. This is a really sweet 45 record sleeve Yogi Bear. Love the colors on that one. The back isn't as pretty as the front, but I loved the front of that one. And these were pretty hard to come by also. This one has a nice flap that you can add some things to. Again, like add some pages to it. This little page edge you can tack down and make that into a little pocket. Or just add things to it. Santa's list. I think you've seen me unfold that like 5 times already, so you know how that works. So like I said, there's a lot of repeated images because I'm using the same books for all of them. I just love all the blues and the pinks, but I love red and green too. So I am curious what you guys think. Turn this one into a little side pocket. What is your favorite? Do you like the pastel Christmas colors, or do you like the more traditional red and green colors? Let me know in the comment section below. I like both. It just kind of depends on the mood that I'm in, but I have definite appreciation for both. Every journal has 4 signatures in it. Here we got Jingle Bells. This one has the holly on the spine and the red snowman fabric on the back. And this one has the Christmas bells gift wrap. I didn't have a ton of that, so only a couple of journals got that, but I really love that paper. That's the reader. Yeah, so this is the title page from the Night Before Christmas book that I'm using. It's a Whitman book, and the illustrations are just gorgeous. And the little fabrics, the little fabric tabs on the journals are vintage calico fabrics. That's the toy catalog page, coloring book page. Santa paper. This card here was one of those like quadruple fold cards, so I made this one into a pocket. I love that too. Here's another great record sleeve that's got a really cute illustration on the back and this extra flap that you can add more to. Lots of cookie recipe pages in every book. And this one you can close the bottom of this, and that would be a nice pocket on that page. And this is the little pocket there. This one, this napkin is a pocket. Santa's list. Pocket. That was Jingle Bells with the red cover. I have 2 Jingle Bells covers, and they have different illustrations, different background colors. So I used both of those covers in my collection this year. Okay, the next up in the pastel collection is Christmas Carols, and then we have 2 more. I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired. All right. Wow, the light just got really bright on the camera. I'm not sure why that is. There it goes. This is the 45 sleeves. So they all are side entry. All the record sleeves I had to turn sideways so they would fit in the journals. And then that made this little, like a little flap area in every one. This one is a calendar, just from a vintage magazine calendar, and then you can work underneath of it. I just did like a crease right here. I promise I won't start singing Christmas songs. I've been listening to Christmas music for a couple of weeks now while I work. I'm driving my family crazy with that, and you really don't want me to sing. I like to sing while I'm working, but I will keep that to myself. My family insists I can't sing, so it's just something I have to keep to myself. So I use this page in a couple of the journals because I love it so much. I have multiples of some books. This one, this card actually was a top opening card, so I just slipped it over the top of this page here. So you can take that out and use that how you wish, but I just paper clipped this in so it didn't fall out. toy catalog, Christmas Carol songbook, so pretty. I skipped, yeah. Oh, I don't know why my camera is so bright right now. Like I said, it's raining here today, and the light is, sorry, is kind of weird. Okay, next up is December is for Christmas. I had never seen this book cover until this year, and I've seen it like several times now. It's funny how that works sometimes. This one says Holly Jolly, and this is the other journal that has a lot of green in it. So it's got the green holly fabric at the spine and the red and green on the back with the green rickrack. So this one is got, I forget what paper. I think I did the bells. Yeah, I did the bells on the back of this one also. The illustrations are so cute in this storybook. Trying to go through as quick as I can. I think you see that I used a lot of the same scrapbook papers and, you know, pages from the same songbooks and that sort of thing. This one's a little different. I don't think I used this paper in any of the other books. You start to forget after a while. I've looked at all the pages so many times. This one, sometimes this is like tacked down, but it was not in this card. So there's lots of journaling space there from that greeting card. This is a fun record sleeve because it's got this opening here, and I thought that would be great to put a photograph in. So if you like to scrapbook with your journals, that would be a great spot for that. Pocket. So that was December is for Christmas. And we have one more. Rudolph. I didn't put these in any particular order, except I wanted to do the 2 auction journals first. So yeah. So Rudolph is one of the pastel journals. So we are going to end with that one. So as I said, let me know if you have questions about any of the journals or anything that you've seen in any of the journals, whether it's a book page or ephemera, or you just have a question about them in general. I will be checking my YouTube channel today, and of course my Instagram. I will probably have a couple more posts up on Instagram, and I will also have more information about the auction on my Instagram later today. And yeah, I'm trying to think what else I could share with you. Like I said, I want to get all of these shipped out tomorrow. The 8 that sell tonight, I am shipping those out tomorrow. And the 2 auctioned journals, the auction ends Monday night, so I will ship those out on Tuesday morning. And they will ship priority. So all of these journals are over £1, so they have to go priority. So it'll be priority 2 or 3 day shipping. So it's it will be there fast. So that is one good thing about priority, is you will have this soon, since we are in December now. Love that page. So yeah, and let me know what your favorite journal was. Whether you're a traditional girl or pastel Christmas, and which journal was your favorite. So thank you so much for joining me on this very, very long video. I really appreciate it if you made it all the way to the end. And I wish you the merriest of Christmas holidays. And I will see you guys soon.